You know, I sincerely wish that I sincerely wish that this fasting, this curing, and this healthy living and practicing living a long time and keeping a level of discipline with the food. Man, sometimes I tell you, sometimes I wish there was another way. I read a quote the other day, and Muhammad Ali said, I hate every last bit of training, but it'll be worth it at the end. And that's when I read it, I said, wow, I said, you know what? There is a love and a hate for it, but I have a passion for it. I'm not doing it because, oh, I want to try and see. No, that's not it. The book says it takes 72 hours just for your body to get rid of the poison from the last meal that you ate. So let's say today is, what did it say? Today is Thursday. You have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's 3 meals. But the last meal you ate was what? Dinner. 72 hours to get rid of that one. Then another couple of other more fasts on top of that just to get rid of the poison from the other meals that you ate. That's the math. It's crazy, in a way. And in another way, it's beautiful. In another way, like I said, sometimes I wish there was another way. And then to keep the discipline of this type of lifestyle is totally different. But I get it. I definitely get it. Whatever and however you eat, you must be disciplined with it. As the book says, we as people eat all types of hours, all different types of food, all try to eat everything on the planet to be healthy. He said the best of foods is milk and bread. Then go on a 72-hour fast. So those who are real close to me know that for a fact that when vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, breatharian, carnivore, or whatever the case is, if you're eating more than once a day and different foods, you're still adding poison on top of the last meal that you ate, according to How to Eat to Live. He names the different beans we're not supposed to eat, such as chickpeas, black-eyed peas, green beans, black beans. What's the split peas? The jumbo kidney beans, red beans. He named so many beans in it that we're not supposed to eat because it was originally cattle food. You see? So to be disciplined with eating a meal, and a meal is you have 2 hours to eat. Think of it as like a 5-star meal. You have your appetizer, you have your main course, and then you have a dessert. Now I'm just giving you an idea of how to practice eating one meal. So if you're eating one meal every 72 hours, I got that so locked in my head. If you're eating one meal every 24 hours, one plate won't do it. Unless you've been doing it for such a long time, and you live a lifestyle that can complement that. You see? For people who work at a desk all day long, he said in the book that they don't even need carbs. So if you're sitting down all day, right? He said you can eat every other day, which is every 48 hours. So it takes one meal, it takes the body to distribute one meal, the nutrients at the 36-hour window from the last meal. So to distribute is when the food and the fecal matter have moved to a certain point in the body, so now that the cells can go and get the rest of the nutrients needed so that you can sustain your fast and health longer by giving your stomach, which is right here, a break. and then the body can distribute the nutrients where they need to be. He said you can invite coffee, you can invite water, which means you don't need it. But if you need it based on the activity or the work or level that you're doing or whatever the case is at the moment that calls for it, then so be it. He also said, once you eat one meal a day, eat one meal every 48 hours. And then once you get used to that, eat one meal every 72 hours. So I'm practicing the one meal every 72. And if you've been following me, you know that some days I haven't posted. I was like, ain't nobody around. Gonna give me something to eat. Because I'm practicing. But that happened 1 week, approximately 2 weeks ago. And then I just wasn't posting my fasting after that. So now it's a shift. It's definitely a shift. So when you're eating one meal every 72 hours, or you're practicing one meal every 72 hours, think of it like this. You're putting your clothes on, 15 to 20 minutes. You're walking out the door, you're getting in your car, you're walking down the street, or you're taking public transportation to go to the store, to put your meals in the basket, shopping cart, to wait online, to go back in the vehicle or the public transportation to get home, to unpack the bags, to sort the food, to cook, to wait, to put the food on the plate. Think about doing that numerous amount of times. For athletes, this doesn't concern you. For athletes that must eat, not the athletes that's just eating because they eating. For athletes that are scheduled eating because their body calls for it, for the nutrients that's in the food so that their bodies can develop for the sport in which they are playing in. There's a difference to be eating recklessly. There's a difference when you're strategically eating. Because you can have 3 reckless meals out of the day consistently with 2 protein shakes, but the bodybuilder, the professional bodybuilder, or the veteran who's been in there for so long, I mean, the bodybuilder that's getting it, strategic meals with 2 protein shakes, their body's going to look different than the one who's eating 3 reckless meals with 2 protein shakes. There's a difference. Because the bodybuilder is calculating calories, protein, carbs, fats, and vitamins, nutrients, etc. The reckless 3-meal eater is just getting 1, 2, 3 meals and 2 protein shakes and calling it a day. So the body's not being disciplined into taking a certain amount of calories and certain types of calories and certain types of nutrients on a daily basis. So what happens? You're playing a sport and you start to... So the one who is eating one meal every 72, the lifestyle begins to shift. It definitely begins to shift. You're not in the kitchen as often. You're not going to the supermarket or the food store as often. You got more time on your hands. You got more energy on your hands. Now let's say all the lightheadedness, the dizziness, the throwing up, the weakness, the fatigue, the cravings, just all that bad stuff that happens when people fasting. Oh my God, I gotta eat some. When all that stuff is gone, there's a different lifestyle that happens, and there's a different way of thinking that happens. There's a different way of movement and acting, and intent that comes in the movement within the person. It's different now. Why am I going to go to the kitchen? Why am I going to the store? I could put more time in my training, reading, meditating. And I'm not saying that you have to exercise. You could be into computers. You could be into teaching. You could be into geology, mathematics, science, language arts. Or trying to pick up something new. Working on your talent, art, pool, golf. Maybe you drive a bus. I don't know. Maybe you do comedy. Maybe you're a professional athlete. I don't know. But when you start to eat one meal every 72, something else happens. What happens? Your stomach gets a break. Your mind is clear. You feel light. You feel good. You save money. Where's my thing at? You save money. You save it. You save it. I want some pizza though, but you save it. So, anyways, so like, but and there are some days when you're in bed and I'm like, oh my gosh, and there's some days I don't even know when I fall asleep. There's some days when I wake up early, and there's some days it's like earlier today, I was about to break my fast at 32 hours, so I had to go take a walk. I came back and did some push-ups and some squats, and I practiced my martial arts katas. You understand? To take my mind and pull the blood elsewhere. So there's a science, there's a chemical reaction that happens differently now. You feel your joints, you feel your muscles. It's like you want to not stay away, but you not stay away from, but you tend to watch who's cooking and who's not, so that you can be aware, like, look, that person can cook, I ain't going over there. Because you're going to be tempted. Am I tempted to eat? Absolutely. Absolutely. Am I tempted to eat? Of course. Do I go in the kitchen? I'm not supposed to, but I go in there just to look, and I leave. I finished drinking my coffee. Oh, no, I got a little bit left. Ooh, thank God. Thank God. But it's not a game. This is just the lifestyle I choose to live, so I'm just sharing my experience. March 22nd. Today's the 19th of May. March, April, May. 19th or the 20th. It's one of those two. And I feel great. I feel great. The 3-week thing is over. The 21 days of making a new habit. Now staying with it. The hype is over. The discipline sets in. I bought me some things to cook and make tomorrow. I don't even know if I'm going to do it. Because my mind is not set on that. My mind is like, wow, I feel good. It feels like I ate, but I didn't. You understand? Are there some days when I feel weak? Absolutely. But there are days when people who eat all day feel weak. There's people who eat all day that get headaches. There's people that eat all day and get sick. There's people that eat all day and feel the same way that people do when they fast. It's the same thing. The only difference is that the discipline and when the food goes in. So bodybuilders, I love bodybuilders because they have to strategically eat to form and shape the body. They spend their time in the kitchen, so it's like 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Move out the way. I gotta eat. You understand? So if you're not eating like that, then don't expect a different body of transformation. So it's the same thing with eating 1 meal every 24, eating 1 meal every 48, eating 1 meal every 72. Eat on time, eat at the proper time, and guess what? Eat the right foods. Eat the proper foods. So when you're on a fast, you're not fasting off of McDonald's Oreo cookies and chocolate chips and barbecue chips. You understand? There's a difference. There's a difference. So I just want to share my experience. If you have any questions or want to learn how to fast, hit me with a DM. You can see my energy is high up. Woo! High up. Peace.